Everybody, check it out. I thought that this would be a good time to go over Johan Furstner. You know, after you complete the Dutch Legacy calendar, you get this new Dutch commander. And what is his big deal? What is he good for? Well, it turns out that when you set him up in a certain way, the Dutch cruisers end up with a 9-kilometer concealment, and your ship goes dark and disappears after firing the main guns after 9 seconds. So what I'm going to do here in this video is go through my setup of Johan Furstner. Then we're going to go take the Tier 7 ship out in an AI match. It's not going to be anything complicated, nothing startling, except I do want to give a basic demonstration in AI where I'm out in the open water. I'm outside of the 9-kilometer concealment range, fire the main guns, and we're going to do a countdown and see how long the eyeball stays there. And we are visible until the concealment goes back to 9 kilometers. It's normally when you fire the main guns, you're visible for like 25 seconds or so. And here, when I did some previous testing, I counted that down to only 9 seconds. So you do drastically cut your concealment after firing the main gun. So here the base trait is Minister of the Navy, and the fire damage caused by your cruisers, shells, or bombs from those airstrikes that the Dutch cruisers are famous for. Above, I think it's Tier 4 or Tier 5, you get the airstrike capability. You will start fires a little bit more effectively, and you get more damage out of that. So for concealment here, well, for inspirations, I have Andre Lemonnier, and his big deal is you get a 23% improvement of the cruiser detectability time after firing the main battery guns. And Furstner's skill is the third skill down there that really enhances that big time. And we're going to get to that in a second. Next inspiration is Lightful. And probably if you don't have Lightful, you want to go with Makawa, which improves the cruiser detectability in and of itself. It improves that another 5%. But here, since I have Lightful, I decided to go ahead and use him. Cruiser main battery reload time is improved, and you do get another 10%, almost 11% improvement on the cruiser detectability time after firing the main guns. So between the two inspirations here, you get over 30% improvement of time that you're visible before you go dark after firing the main gun. So that is pretty good just on these inspirations. So here, I don't know, I just selected Beyond Range to get a farther reach to my opposing ships on the red team. And then here I went with Look at Me Now to improve the concealment, because I want to keep that as short as possible to make the time visible after firing the main guns more effective. The shorter range, the better, I think, because when ships are closing in on you, you get the destroyers to close in within 9 kilometers pretty easily here. So yeah, Look at Me Now is what I selected, but you could do Igniter to improve your chances of the HE shells causing a fire, or Bird's Eye View, which improves the airstrike range and the main battery range. But yeah, I went with Look at Me Now to keep the concealment down, and this is the big deal right here. Your options are Velocious, Risk Theory, or Sea Wings. And what Sea Wings is, that's basically a skill specific for the airstrike capabilities, which the aircraft cruising speed is improved, as is the maximum movement speed, I believe, of the ship itself. Risk Theory is the big deal. This is the whole deal with Johan Furstner, I believe, is cruiser detectability time after firing the main guns is 30% improvement. Cruiser detectability in and of itself goes down 3%. And the damage of your projectiles, as well as fire and flooding damage caused by them, while your cruiser is undetected by enemy ships, Sonar or radar is improved by another 5%. And we did go Legendary 3 to max that out, and we are up to rank 16 right here. Iron Feathers is the fourth skill that I selected, and that improves maximum HP of the ship, and the airstrike aircraft HP is also improved. You can also go with Fixated or Steer Clear. I went to help out the aircraft here, and then here, air support. Why not? Airstrike cooldown time is 4.5% at Legendary rank 3, and the special effect is for every airstrike cooldown takes only 1 second. Every other airstrike cooldown takes only 1 second, and that is when you're within 8.5 kilometers of an enemy ship. And the thing is, when the ship is that close, are you going to be able to target the ship with your airstrike? You kind of want a little further range, I think, but here, 8.5 kilometer range. I think the only Dutch cruiser I have that stays concealed when the enemy is within 8.5 kilometers would be the Tier 4 ship, I think, Tier 4 or Tier 3. So you're definitely going to be spotted when the enemy is within that range, but your airstrike cooldown only takes 1 second. Every other airstrike cooldown takes only 1 second. So, yeah, you just have to see, but that is basically what the deal is here with Johan Furstner and why he is a big deal with the Dutch cruisers. All right, so I said we're going to go into AI, and here you have Johan de Witt or the Haarlem, and we're going to go with the Haarlem right now, and let's check out the specs on the Haarlem. 18 kilometer range is pretty good. Reloads every 12 seconds. Traverse time is 22 seconds. HE shells is 2850, and armor piercing is 4800. And you do have some secondaries there, but the big deal, 9.3 kilometer range on the concealment. And when you're firing the main guns, you will go dark in about that amount of time, in about 9 seconds. So let's go out in an AI match and see if we can make that happen. All right, so as a reminder, we are just going to go into the open water, pick a red ship, fire the main guns while we're in the open water, make sure that the red ship is beyond 9.3 kilometer range, and do a countdown and see how long we stay visible before we go dark. That is basically the experiment. Okay, the Riga would be a good candidate. If we can get over here in the open water. All right, that looks good. All right, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008. There you go, 8 seconds. Let's do another one. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1000. There you go. About 8.5 seconds right there we stay visible with this setup. And that is the big deal with Johan Furstner. Go ahead and let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it. I guess you can target that close. All right. See if we can get them. Ooh, there you go. Hit with a bunch of bombs. That is awesome. Okay, let's see if this will do it.